All right, it's time to talk about the top 10 wide receivers for week 9, and we're gonna get right into the video here at number 10. We're going Drake London. Now, this is a wide receiver that's been kind of up and down all season, but this is a matchup that I believe that Drake London can take advantage of. If you see this week, they're going against a Cowboys defense that ranks 13th against opposing wide receivers. He should be leaned on to provide output this week. Now, there's a lot of plethora of options, and I know Kyle Pitts have been getting kind of a little bit of love, multiple touchdowns, here lately. But I think Darnell Mooney's having a good game here. He's at Bijan's having a good game over here. Kyle Pitts over here. It's time for Drake London to show out, and the Cowboys can't really seem to stop anyone at this moment. So this could be setting up for a really big Drake London game. So I had to put him in here at my top 10 list because I think Drake London has a solid game this week. Should be a good fantasy option, easily number 10 for me. Move right here along at number 9. We're talking Terry McLaurin. Now, he has gelled quite well with rookie Jaden Daniels, and we see even that long, Hail Mary pass for the win last week against the Bears. Look, Jaden Daniels is starting to mature quite a bit. The biggest reason why is Terry McLaurin, right? Even early on in the first couple weeks of the season, when Terry McLaurin really wasn't getting much love, Terry McLaurin wasn't causing a stink like a Stephon Diggs. He was out there saying, you know what? He needs to grow. He will come around. He will start to learn and develop. And when he does, I'm going to be here for him when he does. And heck, has he ever done that? Jaden Daniels is targeting Terry McLaurin. He is a top flight wide receiver now, finally in his career with a top flight quarterback in Jaden Daniels. Terry McLaurin can get the job done this week, taking on a Giants defense that ranks 8th against opposing wide receivers, becoming the clear option for big plays for Daniel. So I think it's just one of those things, right? Going against a Giants team, I don't think that there's going to be any options that they're going to be able to slow down Terry McLaurin and the Commanders and anybody on this offense. I love myself some Terry McLaurin. I think he has a massive day for all fantasy owners who took the chance on him in NFL drafts or fantasy drafts. I think Terry McLaurin, solid matchup this week against a Giants team that I don't think is going to slow down the Commanders one bit. They are rolling on all cylinders, right? Move right along here at number 8. We're going Tyreek Hill. This is a guy who had 9 targets, right? After he came back, Tua Tagovailoa came back from injury, and it's shown, hey, look, this could be, it wasn't that long ago, Tyreek Hill was a top 2, top 3 wide receiver in fantasy football, right? And he dropped all the way down because he didn't have a quarterback. Well, now with Tua back at the helm, Tyreek Hill can get the damn thing done. So I'm liking myself some Tyreek Hill. I think he goes nuclear this week. I think 150 plus yards receiving and at least one big bomb out of all that is definitely here to happen. Look at what he's going this week. He's taking on a Bills defense ranked 6th against opposing wide receivers. With Tua back, Tyreek Hill getting a ton of targets. Like I said, massive target share, right? 9 targets last week in his first game back. Who knows? I'm seeing double-digit targets this week for Tyreek Hill. I think Tua's going to really target him quite a bit. Like I said, at least hit him for one big bomb in this game. 150 yards receiving. I can easily see that. Tyreek Hill in my top 10 in week 9. So move right along here at number 7. We're going Puka Nacua. This is a wide receiver that I could see really shining, right? He came back from injury and he was clicking on all cylinders with Matthew Stafford. Even with Cooper Kupp coming back, Puka Nacua said, yo, I am the lead dog on this offense. I am catching all the footballs, right? This week they're taking on a Seahawks defense that ranks 14th against opposing wide receivers. Stafford has found his target hog yet again. So it doesn't matter if he's running the football, catching the football. Puka Nacua can do a little bit of everything, which makes his fantasy value just that much higher. His floor is pretty high when it comes to fantasy football. He doesn't have to be catching bombs all over the place. It's not really his game, right? Puka Nacua catches a lot of hitch routes. He runs the football, little out routes, slant routes. He can do all of those little things, and Matthew Stafford likes to find him, giving you consistent fantasy output. I like myself some Puka Nacua here in week 9. Move right along here at number 6. We're going Amon-Ra St. Brown, the dink and dunk god himself. I think that this week could be another one of those dink and dunk type of weeks where you see him having, 11 catches for quite a bit of yards, a lot of yards. So if you're in a half PPR, full PPR league, this could be the week for Amon-Ra St. Brown. This week, taking on a Packers defense ranks 12th against opposing wide receivers. With minimal uses last week, look for St. Brown to really be involved. He didn't really get a lot of opportunities last week. And most of the time, in the historical current data, right, when Amon-Ra St. Brown has a bad game, a la not a lot of targets, the very next game, he's almost hyper targeted. So you can almost guarantee yourself for Amon-Ra St. Brown to have a massive game this week. I like him in week 9. Let's go to the top 5 now. Here at number 5, we're going CeeDee Lamb, right? Nuclear type of wide receiver. He went nuclear last week. I mean, he had a ton of fantasy points for you and really helped you win a week by himself. This week, taking on a Falcons defense that ranks 21st against opposing wide receivers, was nuclear right? Last week, absolutely nuclear. He did a crazy amount of things. I like having CeeDee Lamb on my rosters because he can literally win you weeks himself, right? And this week, I think it's no difference. He can easily win you a week any given week. Put the guy in your lineup. He is a stud for a reason. I like him for week 9. Now, coming in here at number 4 could be a shocker for some people. I'm saying Malik Neighbors, right? I think he's going to be just hyper targeted yet again. The dude gets so many targets, not even crazy. And I think this week he can produce with the targets he's going to be getting. I like myself some Malik Neighbors, but this week going against a Commanders defense ranks 20th against opposing wide receivers should have his way against this secondary. I'm telling you, this secondary is not really going to be able to stop, right, Malik Neighbors and his route running ability. As long as Daniel Jones can put him on the target, he's going to get a crap load of targets, but he's got to be accurate with those targets. I think this week he becomes accurate. He becomes a top-notch, top-flight wide receiver for week 9. My biggest surprise wide receiver of the week has to be Malik Neighbors. So we're right along here at number 3. We're going Jamar Chase. This is a guy, right, even showing out without T. Higgins on the field, he can do it, right? He can drop those bombs down, has a really good chemistry already with Joe Burrow, obviously playing with him at LSU, now over here with the Bengals. T. Higgins may be back. That could help. That could hurt Jamar Chase. Either way it goes, he is a phenomenal play this week. They're taking on a Raiders defense ranks 10th against opposing wide receivers, and he can explode any given week. At any given week, you can see Jamar Chase go out there and just have a plethora of points and completely win you a game by himself, right? This could be one of those weeks as well. I like Jamar Chase. He's always probably going to be in my top 5. He just can produce those type of numbers for you. Start Jamar Chase with confidence this week. Coming here at number 2, we're talking AJ Brown, right? He's really, ever since he came back from that early injury early in the season, he's been phenomenal, right? He's getting targeted a lot by Jalen Hurts. He's almost making it a focal point. So look, AJ Brown is who we thought he was. He's a beast. I'm going to give him the football, and he's going to provide you a ton of fantasy value. This week, he's going against a Jaguars defense ranks 29th against opposing wide receivers. And I'm saying he may have a career game this week. I don't see anyone on this offense that can stop AJ Brown, let alone slow this guy down. This dude's going to go absolutely crazy against a Jaguars team that's struggling. We got to call a spade a spade. They're struggling right now. So I think that the Eagles come in here. They're already clicking on all cylinders. AJ Brown has a phenomenal week. I love to see it. Which brings us to number 1. We're talking Justin Jefferson, right? A wide receiver who's been extremely consistent since week 1, right? Him and Sam Darnold has linked up quite a bit and provided so many fantasy points for you this week, and it's going to continue this week. They're taking on a Colts defense ranked 17th against opposing wide receivers, putting up consistent numbers each and every week. And with Joe Flacco now starting for the Colts and they're benching Anthony Richardson, the Colts should be more competitive. And because they're more competitive, I'm just liking the situation that's unfolding at this point. There's going to be a little bit more competitive, which means they're going to be throwing the football a little bit more, which means Justin Jefferson. On top of that, TJ Hawkinson should be back from injury and IR as well, which should help take a lot of that coverage off of Justin Jefferson, because TJ Hawkinson is a really good weapon himself. So I love myself. Easily number 1 for me in week 9. But guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're pumping out videos each and every week to help you best set the best lineup possible. That way you can ultimately win a championship. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Anybody that's not in my top 10 that you believe should be in the top 10, put it down below. I would love to see y'all's thoughts and y'all's opinions on that situation. And I can't wait to see y'all on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.